Never misplace the influence you've gained from your past. You're going to need it to be a part of how you shape the future that you're headed toward. When you've learned excellence, know that excellence makes no excuses, but it just corrects that which is wrong. Look at your neighbor and say, excellence makes no excuses. It just corrects which is wrong. And so I'm saying that because it's time to drop excuses. I know, and I've gotten this, that many of our experiences are so valuable, we cannot drop them and just leave them somewhere in the past and act like they're not important. Some people live their lives just wanting to survive. But I'm convinced that God wants us to do more than survive. He wants us to happen. Look at your neighbor and say, he wants us to happen. Look at your neighbor and say, yeah, you're what's happening. Tell them, look at them and say, you're what's happening. You got to make sure that you are happening. This whole thing about being where you are and having meaning and cause and possibility to your life means that you have to be in a posture that you understand that you have to happen. You are today's miracle wrapped up in flesh, only needing to hear and obey God. And when you embrace that, he intends for the world through you to begin to manifest as you just start happening. You should bless every place that you are. As a matter of fact, the people sitting next to you, in front of you, and behind you should have a comfort in knowing I'm sitting around somebody that's in contact with the future, who's gotten over the past and is excited about moving past right now. Look at your neighbor and say, I'm happening right now. Go on, tell them. Don't let them play you cheap. You need to tell them I'm happening right now. No. Don't let them act like you're not important. Tell them I'm happening right now. You want to know, you tell them you don't even have to go nowhere to find out where the happening is. The happening is sitting right next to you. Why don't you tell them happening is right next to you? When you know you're happening, then the next thing is important for you to look at your life and begin to look at the trajectory of your future and begin to announce, I'm about to soar now. Because when you observe your life, process and progress, if it's not happening around you, it's your obligation to make it happen. Look at somebody and say, you got to make it happen. Ain't nobody walking around trying to pass your future to you. You got to go after it. You got to name yourself in your present situation. If you don't name yourself, somebody else will name you. You got to decide how you want to be identified. You got to make up your mind how you're going to represent who you are in this particular time and age, because this is the only moments you have to work with. Talk to your neighbor and say, you got to do what you can while you got a chance to do it. Man, because the purpose of destiny reminds us that the future is inside of us. And when destiny is aligned with that purpose, things just begin to happen. You have the power to make great things happen. Why am I saying that to you? Why am I telling you you have the power to make great things happen? Because God made you, and he made you a creature with great things to come out of you. And he made you a creature with great things to manifest from you. And here's the thing about God, he never goes against himself. Somebody talk to your neighbor and say, he doesn't go against himself. Yeah. What he made you to do, he gives you all the capability and the probability and then the opportunity to manifest it in the fullness. He gives you to do it. When you accept God's purpose for your life, you'll discover that the world around you has already been created to complement it. The deal is, if you do what God says that you are born to do, the world begins to bow down so that you can make you a pathway, so you can begin to see the essence of how God has called you to be where you are. That's why some jobs you don't even have to fully qualify for on paper. All you have to do is qualify for them in a posture where God can give you the favor, open some doors, present the opportunity, and then relationships sometimes with success will give you things that you can't earn in and by yourself. That's why you can't treat people nasty or act crazy or be out of line. You can't get on the Twitter and on Facebook and talk about everybody. You got to make sure you handle your business with diplomacy, my God, and that you have ethical ideas about how you have your functionality. So at the end, your life can take off and you don't have a whole lot of garbage to deal with. As a matter of fact, man, my God, I just thought about it. Cape Canaveral, no, nothing takes off unless it begins to drop off the heavy weight. My God, when you see the rocket begin to soar, the first thing you see happen is that after the initial expulsion of all of the atmosphere, it drops the bottom part off. Why does it drop it off? Because I can't carry weight where I got to go. Somebody talk to your neighbor, say, I can't carry unnecessary weight where I got to go. I see myself going too high, soaring where I've never been before. Dead weight does not belong in my future. I'm wrapped up because I see some wonderful things that God has already ordered. Somebody talk to your neighbor, say, timing is an awesome thing. Timing. My God, that's why you got to know when you're in your time, when you're in your season, and when you're at your moment. When you get these things clear, then God gives you an opportunity, because when He gives you things so you can see that you're not to be stuck in these ordinary, mundane parcels of life. Let me tell you, that's why you get dreams. Whenever you're in life and wherever your life is too confining for your dream, God then repeats it. Anytime you're locked into a place where you're not living up to what He gives you as your dream of yourself, He'll repeat the dream to make sure you get a reinforcement of it. You see, you don't increase your participation in the future, your dream is going to suffocate and die. You got to move in timing. One evidence of your dream is that you then begin to see more coming than you have room to handle. Listen, God likes busy folk, not busy doing nothing, but busy productive folk. People who have put themselves in alignment to actually make sure that they have results at the end of their dealing. Another sign that you know you must start looking for ways to, you begin to understand, I got to bless some others with all the stuff that God has blessed me with. So you start seeing and understanding it's not just about me, but it's about those who God had put me in the atmosphere of. You see, moving into and owning your responsibility is crucial, because there's another side of success that's hidden and awaiting this very moment. This is what David experienced. He is the writer of this particular psalm, this 40th psalm. Understand, he got a chance to clearly understand and know that success was in his alignment. Would you prophesy that to somebody and tell them success is in your assignment? Yeah. So you're aligned and assigned for a success that you have never ever seen before. A part of being successful is learning to know which giants you are to fight and which ones you are to leave alone, because every giant is not your battle. Somebody talk to your neighbor, just tell them every giant is not your battle. Yeah, you got to know which ones you're supposed to fight, which ones you're supposed to go after. Understand, when you engage your purpose, accept that you might be an enemy to someone who has not been your personal enemy. It's the first lesson that David learned. You see, Goliath was Saul's giant. He wasn't David's giant. Saul was the king. David was in the shepherd, the little shepherd boy, tending sheep, taking care of daddy's plains, doing what he's supposed to be doing. And he gets the beck and call to come into the place where he ended up being a person who would go against Goliath. 1 Samuel, the 17th chapter and the 18th chapter. Understand this. And Saul then, who should have been the person fighting the giant, wanted David to prove that he could handle the fight. So he tried to dress him in his gear. You see, when people want you to wear their clothes before the fight, you got to be careful and make sure that you don't overdress. Look at your neighbor and say, don't overdress. Yeah. You don't need to look like somebody else for a fight you got to fight. You got to look like yourself. You need to dress yourself up for the success that God has ordered for you. One of the essence of timing is making sure that you don't look like somebody else's past. Saul had a nice regal wear, but understand this, it is not, at the end of the day, it's your ability that's going to be judged. Understand, Jehoshaphat learned that when he put on Ahab's clothes. Y'all can read that story a different day. But when David had to prove himself, he had to tell the King Saul that he fought a lion, and then he also had that he fought a bear. And after he got the job to go out and to kill Goliath, notice what happened to the rest of the army. They were sitting there watching him. You see, your supporting cast may become your spectators. Somebody stop for a minute. Just look at your neighbor and tell them your supporting cast may become your spectators. Your discouragers will mock and will murmur. And sometimes your encouragers will watch to see if you survive. They'll look at it. Go ahead now. Kill yourself, won't you? Yeah, go ahead now. You can make it. But listen here. At the end of the day, God will not give you victory until you move forward. Then once you win, look out, because cheers will make you brand new enemies. Because those who did not expect you to win will be mad at your next victory. I need you to understand that. But faithfulness merits more than elevation. Faithfulness merits results. Somebody talk to your neighbor and say, I'm here today because I've been faithful. Go and tell your neighbor, God blesses me not because because I got a new title. I can give myself a title. I get blessed because of results. And understand, when you have to fight a Goliath, you got to know what your enemy's like from the beginning. Because the first thing you need to know is that Goliath is over-advertised and overrated. What I mean by that is that Goliath only represents his own kingdom. He's a champion for his cause. He fights a corporate battle, and Goliath is a master in that of intimidation. He will taunt and threaten your future methodically to gain control over your present. But notice about him, Goliath does not want to kill you as much as he wants to control your future. The real deal is that he's looking for slaves. He is unproductive without insubordinate help, and so without subordinate help. And so he'll fight, but he would rather that you volunteer and submit. He's all talk at the end of the day. And the fact is that when you know what you're fighting, you stop acting like it's so big that you can't get past it. The deal is that God gave David public success early in life to overtake Goliath based on the character of his faith. And God will give you a power to overcome your enemy based on the character of your faith. He's not needing you to be a super this or super that, but be spiritual and be right. Be in a posture where you do what God has given you and watch him lift you up among the rubble and cause you to be head over all of those situations that you have to stand in. And when you see that, you'll recognize that all this time your trouble is not your destiny. It's just a part of your itinerary.